welcome Jennifer Telford. She is one of my clients. We are sharing an incredible case study today, and it's all about creating an aligned and visible online business with Jennifer, who is an integrated life empowerment coach. And I'm going to have her break down exactly what that means in just a second. Jen has so much to celebrate right now because she's been featured recently in two different publications. She is working on a third, so getting really, really visible with her holistic wellness practice, getting more clarity in her messaging every day, which I know is something that we're all on a journey of in here, all entrepreneurs. Our messaging is constantly evolving. I know we've had that conversation. And then along with just embracing, um, all of the juiciness, the fun of having an online business and really leading by embodiment and leading by example. So first off, Jen, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Can you break down a little bit for us, a little bit about your coaching practice and what it is that you do?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Hillary, for this opportunity. And, I'm just so excited to be a part of your community and working with you because you've
Mhm.
helped so much through this process, getting more clarity, and what
Mhm.
I offer to women and how I serve. But I am a 20-year practitioner in the massage and lymphatic drainage therapy arena.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
in 2020, 2021, I kind of pivoted and became a certified life and health coach. So I integrate the two trainings and modalities to just offer women a really like an embodied an energetic healing approach to navigating life transitions and life's challenges, and helping women to foster self-love and restorative self-care so that they can come home to themselves and have more ease and you know in whatever it is that they're kind of navigating through life, and really learning how to trust themselves and honor their uniqueness. So I do that through a lot of different modalities. I have women who come in-house and see me on the table, for Reiki
Mhm.
healing and
Yes.
lymphatic work,
Yes. Mhm.
massage therapy. But I also work with women in somatic practices and like guided breath work and
Mm.
meditation virtually. And I combine my coach training of overcoming limiting beliefs and building on healthy habits, and all the aspects of self-love, to help them in kind of coming home to themselves, so to say. So
This is incredible. And this is something that is so needed right now. I was just having a conversation with another entrepreneur about self development and how really that self development and life empowerment is like always such a fantastic investment because
yeah,
it literally ripples across. And I know we talk about this a lot in the mastermind, like the work that we're doing all adds up
yes,
and it ripples across every single area of our life, whether it comes to, finding more inspiration or feeling more connected or more peaceful or
yeah,
more joyful,
yeah,
or even more embodied, um, as the days and the weeks progress. So
yeah,
one thing I wanted to just touch on that you brought up that I think is so, it was part of my journey as well as an online entrepreneur, is I started with a lot of fantastic in-person offerings. And then what happens is you reach a point where you feel like you're ready to expand, you're ready to reach more people, you're ready to share your message with more people so that you can serve more people. And what I love is, to really think about, like you mentioned, your online Reiki sessions, ways that you've been able to, sometimes we can hop online a little bit more quickly. And all of the Reiki healers in here know. And if you're not familiar with Reiki, Reiki, goes through time and space basically. I've had a Reiki healing with a healer that I love that's all the way over in England. And it was such a powerful session. And so Jen and I have that in common, the Reiki
yeah.
background, which I
Yeah, I
love.
love that. Yeah, and I love that mention of that. Bringing it to a larger, broader, like a larger group, and we can do that through the online virtual ways. And it works, you know.
Yeah, it works. I
It
know
works
it.
beautifully. It's
Right.
and sometimes
Right.
even more powerful. So
Yeah.
it's the energetic connection that we have, with people through that. So
Yeah, that is really, really
yeah.
powerful. So I want to talk a little bit and, just share like some of the different ways that you've really stepped into visibility in the past few months of us working together. What are some of the ways that you've really embraced, visibility online?
Mm. I think, well, I mean, I'm going to refer to the work that I've done with you over the past 3 months
Yeah, yeah.
because it really has helped me to create more of a structure and flow in combining, my energy with my intentions, and then that whisper, that inner dialogue of what
Hmm.
I'm experiencing when I'm working with women, or what the results are, or what I'm facilitating, and to have that confidence to just put something out there and not hold back anymore. Like
Yeah.
I'm dialoguing this inner, or it's like I'm listening to this inner dialogue and then putting it out, in
I
post,
love that.
and
Yeah. So
sharing
you're
it in
actually
email.
you're
Yeah.
you're allowing, and this is
Yeah.
something that I've worked with a lot of different entrepreneurs, is like sometimes we have this potent message inside, but then we're not sharing it. And it's like the more that we let that come through, which is
Yep.
what you're essentially doing, the more that you're letting that come through, it's like you're really the embodiment of like your purpose and like what you've come here to do. And that is like so powerful, right? And
Exactly.
that's so needed. Like that's so needed. So not to mention the fact that you've been in two different publications
Mhm.
um,
Yep.
and gone on podcast
Yep.
and you're here live, right?
Yep.
Doing a live inside of a Facebook group. So that's a
Yep.
huge, huge, huge just evolution, right? We're
Yep.
constantly expanding, we're constantly evolving.
Yep.
So that leads me to my very first question for you. What is inspiring you at the moment? Like, what's
Yeah.
really inspiring you?
Yeah, I think just getting excited about the clarity that I have with wanting to, put out a workshop, create a community,
Yeah,
put out more content that leads to, these kind of ways that I can,
conversations and
yeah,
conversions. Yes.
exactly, exactly, working with women. And I think there's also this aspect of like this excitement of this creativity within inside, that I get to kind of just like be the leader of this experience for myself in creating this kind of design, of what it is that I want to have in my life, both personally and professionally. So that excites me. And then,
That is, I just want to reflect that back to you. I
or
woke up
inspires me. That inspires me, I should say.
I just want to reflect that back to you because I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm just so excited that I get to create my own business. Like
Yeah.
creating a business is a creative act,
Yeah.
right? And I know we have a lot of artists in the group, we have a lot of multi-passionate, visionary women. And like through our business is actually one way that we express our creativity. And
Yeah.
that's why I always like to
Yeah.
call it like a soul business. It's like a soul level offering, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's
so
exactly
that's,
spot on. And that
yeah.
has been my journey for 24 years. Like it hasn't changed. It's just evolved in different services.
Mhm.
Um, but because the services, pre-COVID were more one-on-one, or just,
Yeah.
kind of in-house, now I'm learning how to do this kind of online um expansion. It's like learning new skills,
Totally.
to harness
Yes.
these things that we want to get on. Now there's so many different platforms, digital platforms, people are doing
Mhm.
things on lives, and there's programs, coaching online. So
Yes.
it's just learning new skills, to really um yeah, put my gifts out there, and align with the women who need the support. So
Totally. And I can relate to this because I have been in this online journey. Mine started right before COVID when I launched my first digital course, but it's like absolutely what you're saying. It's true. It's like we're just building new skill sets so
yeah.
that we can, have more impact. And also, and this is like something that happened that we chatted about a little bit with Erin yesterday. So if anybody's watching and you didn't see the live with Erin, we talked about like her motivation to have like a little bit more time freedom and
Yeah.
how that time freedom really nourishes other healers, other you know, we have to have that time in that spaciousness. Like artists really
Yeah.
need spaciousness, right? So that they could like go into the studio and they can like have a little more time. And healers, we have to keep our energy very clean and clear, right? So that we can work with people. Like if we're constantly in hustle mode, then we don't have time to do those self-care practices. And that's something that I love so much about your offerings is that you're really empowering women to nourish themselves and to take that time to do the work that is going to not only nourish them, but it's going to ripple out and affect everybody in every aspect
Exactly.
of their lives. So that's really, really huge.
That's,
Um,
yeah, thank you.
what made you know, because some people here are curious and they've never been in a mastermind, they've never been in a group program before. What made this like a powerful experience being in the group, inside the group, that maybe was surprising, something that people don't realize about it? I'm always curious to know
Yeah.
what. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, there's a combination of, yeah, your facilitation or, having a good coach or leader that's going to facilitate. And, I do feel like with you, you have a lot of confidence. That's what attracted me to you initially. And a lot of like
Mhm.
effortless ease and flow in how you facilitate what you're doing. It comes so naturally. So I think also the content that you provided through the process really was like it built upon,
Oh,
one
great. Yeah.
another. And that was really important to me. And I have now tools and practices I can go back to
Mhm.
practice this on a daily basis with
Yeah.
the offer, the
The
freebies and
recordings and
the
the
record.
master classes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
But also there's the aspect of the community. Like, there was four of us total. You had
Hmm.
three
Hmm.
women and then
Hmm.
yourself as the kind of, facilitator. But hearing
Hmm.
all the other women and their sharing and getting the feedback and the support, all of that, showing up
Hmm.
together weekly, we
Hmm.
always were
It's
there.
really powerful.
That
Hmm.
was really powerful. And to have that to look
Hmm.
forward to, it was like the structure that I needed to kind of get this momentum going. And that
Hmm.
was, that really helped.
Actually, there was five of us. I
Oh, was
know
it
that you
five
don't
of
realize that.
us?
Yeah, but that's okay.
Sorry.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely having
Yeah.
the group and
Uh-huh.
and the fact the members that could show up live, that could contribute live, like that
Yeah.
is really awesome, right? Because what you're hitting on is it does make it more deep when we can hear from each other. And so
Yeah.
what I love about masterminds is like, you know, I always have people that join and they might have a full-time job and they might have to digest the content over the weekend, or they may participate more or less. But you're absolutely right that the magic is when you can, you know, show up live as much as possible and then get that direct coaching from the coach. But also it's so amazing and it never fails to you know, just surprise me how much the group members learn from each other, because we might be going through similar things, or
Yeah.
they might be testing something out that's then working really well, that then inspires somebody else in the group to learn and to try it. And that's why masterminds are really like a higher level container than just like say taking a course where somebody, you know, might just digest all the information on the weekend on their own time but never get feedback and never get the accountability or like the deepening of, you know, the experience. So thank you for sharing that. um the next question that I had for you was, what was the biggest shift that you would say that you really experienced from like maybe the beginning of the journey to like now where you are, kind of you've had a couple weeks to kind of look back and digest to where you're at right now in your
Yeah.
soul business?
Yeah. I would say, back to like that internal dialogue or that building of that energy. That was the hugest shift for me. Like I feel like I've gained that confidence that
Yeah.
I needed. I feel stronger in, trusting that voice within, or trusting, I guess also like tuning into like the things that are giving me joy and excitement to lead me in that. So it's like
Mhm.
that trust, that kind of awareness of going within. I think that was it did give me confidence. I do feel stronger. I'm not afraid. Like if I put something out, nobody responds, oh well. I put it out because it was on my heart. Somebody's going to see it, you know, and I'm not, in the past, I would have been like, nobody liked it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nobody
Yes.
acknowledged it. Oh my God, I'm gonna fail at this and I'm never gonna do well.
Right. Right.
You know, and now I don't feel that. I'm just
Yes.
doing what's being called and because it gets me excited. And that's, you know, and if it again aligns, you know, I just so it's that
I
that's
love that. And it's like
yeah,
you're already like a super, I would say you were
yeah,
already a really intuitive person, stepping into this container. But I love that leading from the inspiration, leading
yeah,
from the intuition.
yeah,
And when we go into our own, just following that inner guidance and not really worrying about the external validation, because, the online space changes and it shifts, and some people may see, some people may not see, right?
yeah,
But what happens is when we continuously, show up in our authenticity, then that is very magnetic. That is
yeah,
just very the right people. And I
yeah,
know we've had this conversation so
yeah,
many times, but some people are just watching, right?
yeah,
And then they just jump into your programs, and you don't
yeah,
always know that they've been watching and listening. I mean, maybe they're driving and they can't even leave a comment or leave a heart, right? Like if they're like me, I'm like driving in my car and I've got some, recording going or some live training I'm listening to. And so that is huge. Just leading from that place of intuition and following that
yeah,
creative, that spark, right?
yeah.
Um,
And one more thing I'll add,
mhm,
if that's okay. You know,
mhm.
also
Yeah,
it's
please.
okay to like it's okay to get feedback. It's okay to kind of practice things. It's okay to, you know, and to put something out there. Maybe I
Totally.
would love to get your feedback on this, or could I get some testers to come to this? And like, it's a process. And, you know, I feel more comfortable with now kind of having that dialogue with women,
Oh,
and
yeah.
before I didn't, you know, so,
Yes.
you know,
Like,
we're testing the
so,
water
of
sometimes, you know?
course, like,
Yeah.
and that's something that a lot of people don't realize actually it's like this messy action. And I don't know if the word is messy action, but it's that we just take, I like to call it like inspired action actually, because it's not messy, it's
Yeah.
coming from inspiration. And then we revise and then we refine. And that's exactly how to build a sustainable online business, private practice, anything, because you
Yeah.
have to get that feedback
Mhm.
from your audience. And so
Yeah.
that's critical. That's a huge shift.
Yeah.
And then what did you, oh, this is like a fun question that I'm just curious about, because there's so many coaches out there. There are so many business coaches out there. And so, what did you find potentially that was unique or different, or, just different, I guess, about working with me? Like maybe something that surprised you that you didn't expect.
Um, I don't, yeah, that's interesting. Well,
I
I mean,
mean,
I
that
feel like,
made
yeah,
you laugh. So obviously
no,
something
no,
came
no,
to
no, no,
mind.
no, I'm just trying to, I didn't really kind of decipher that well when I was thinking about this, but other than like your
Or like
confidence,
unique or different.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just feel like, I think initially when I started to find you and I
Hmm.
saw you as an artistic person that was like
Hmm.
offering
Yeah.
workshops, and you were coming from a place of like creating inspiration in women's lives, or how can we
Yeah.
feel like beauty and inspiration. I think that was unique for me, that you could actually build a business from that, something like that, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
creating
Like,
like an embodied experience for women, right? Like we can create
right.
it from that experience. And I think that's what captured me in the beginning, and seeing how successful you were, you know,
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
that realm, but also just through this process, you have offered so many wonderful tools that help us with meditation, daily practices, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
to our energy. All of that, I think I was a little surprised maybe to, I knew that you had some Reiki or yoga background,
Right.
but I didn't
Right.
know that
Yeah.
that was that strong, and you use
Hmm.
that in your life and your practice. And I think that's what I was a
Hmm.
little maybe surprised in that sense of like, oh wow, she's connected in that way more than I knew. So that
Yeah, sometimes I don't always talk about my 23-year long
yeah.
yoga practice, or that I'm a 500 hours certified yoga teacher training that I just did for pure fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So fun.
so I know. So reflecting back to you, that's like how you're leading in your business too. And so this is how we really attract our ideal clients, our soul aligned clients is what I call them, is we resonate because that's what they're also doing. And so that's what you're also doing in your business, Jennifer, is you are leading women toward their inspiration, their empowerment, and they're really leading these empowered lives after they go through your life coaching and your healing sessions. The other thing that I have to say, which is kind of a funny thing, is I remember when you signed up with me, you asked me the question, do you ever do meditations in your program?
Okay.
And I was like, check. That's like a soul aligned client, right? Because if somebody like hates to meditate, or if they're not going to work on the spiritual side and use the spiritual laws and the quantum laws to create their business, then they should just go find an old boring business coach, that's going to teach cookie cutter strategies all day, because that's not the right person for my program.
And I used your meditation before I got on this live today.
Oh, nice.
To kind of ground me and go inward and just have that time within. Like that's, I think that's so important. We're out there doing, coming back into that quiet, and similar to what it is that I wanted, that I'm doing with women that I coach.
With women.
It all very much aligns. So I need to do it for myself. And that was something I got from this mastermind too, was really embodying my self-love, my self-care, what it is that I want for my ladies, and I have,
and you're like, and how much
in my life, so
how much does that like improve our like life and improve our day to day when we really take the time to practice what we preach? And it's often like a lot easier said than done, right? And so I see that with you. I see the embodiment of what you're teaching women about, and what this kind of space that you create for them. I mean, even your space is just like got this beautiful energy to it, right? And that's very magnetic. So the last question I have for you, because I want to be mindful of time and I want to be conscious of time, is like, what exciting projects are in store for you, or like what are you really excited about that you're creating, dreaming up next? What really has you?
I've been just kind of creating a workshop that I'm getting
nice
clarification on, and so that's exciting me, and I will put that out there soon on my website and
wonderful
Instagram. And also I have developed kind of a 5-week like self-love immersion, for women, professionals going through, life's challenges. And so putting that out there as well. I have a few podcasts coming up that I'm going to be scheduled on, and another online digital magazine.
Yes.
So I think it's just kind of making closure on some like workshops and the also digital products that I'm creating to just publish it.
Right. So you really have, I mean, you are a seasoned entrepreneur that has a lot of different offerings, and you're a little bit like me in that we just always have to decide what we want to offer next, right? We have to just kind of anchor into that and say, what's inspiring me right now? What are my people really asking for? How can I best serve them? And then, like that 5-week immersion sounds like that might be that thing that you decide to share with your women and your community next. And so that is super exciting. I want to make sure that you share with us how we can find you. And so we'll drop the link. So I'm going to have you comment in the comments, please, share your website and also share your Instagram. Your Instagram is wonderful for people that want like daily inspiration and just connection and community. And then your website, of course, has where they can really see some of your different programs and your coaching and your offers.
And I also thought I could put my link tree, because that has all like, the kind of features and articles and, podcasts. Like it's a nice bio of everything that I have. So it's on my Facebook page, but I will put in the comments. I think that's a
just put whatever you prefer. for people to find you. Yeah.
Yeah, and, just to share, you had talked about magical moments, in the beginning of
Yes.
our mastermind and
Ah,
holding
I
space
can't
for
wait to
that.
hear this.
And
Yes.
I
Uh-huh.
think that that was really, something new and different, and I didn't really see the value of it maybe so much in the beginning, like, there's just future goals, but really embodying those things that you want to be experiencing and holding space with that as kind of the future outcome of, how I'm leading myself to that place. I guess I see the retreat. I see myself
Yeah.
doing a retreat at
Yeah,
some
so
point.
Jennifer's
And
from Hawaii. She's
yeah,
got this beautiful vision of,
a magical moment.
possibly a magical retreat in Hawaii. And this is what I was talking to Erin about. And I feel like I need to do a live in this group. But when we cast this vision, the vision is so important. It's like this
Yep,
magical vision.
got it.
And we anchor into these moments. And what happens is one day we look around us and we're actually living the vision. So
Yeah,
like you're talking
love
about
that.
the imperfect action, the sometimes the messy action, sometimes the inspired action. This is all part of like being an entrepreneur, like trying things and having them work and trying things and having them not work. But
Yeah,
when we have the vision, we're always like moving forward in our
just moving
journey.
forward, and that keeps that
Yeah.
resilient. Yeah, that sense of
Yeah.
resilience.
It builds up that resilience.
Yeah,
And also, um, it helps us to really live out and like fulfill. So just to like tie it back with like the title of this group, like manifesting our dreams. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jennifer. You have given us so much to think about and planted so many seeds, I know, for women that are building their dream business, that are creating a life of freedom and abundance from pure inspiration and alignment. And I
yeah.
just want to say thanks so much for hopping on here.
Thank you.
And Jen's in the group, so
Thank
feel free
you.
to reach out to her, DM her, and get to know her. So thank you so
Great.
much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, bye.